as drugs. His articles are getting millions of views in the New York Post and sparking a big debate. ABC's Mara Schiavocampo is here with what that report says. Good morning, Mara.
Amy, good morning. You know, it is getting an awful lot of attention. Kids spend an average of 7 hours a day in front of some kind of screen. And now that doctor is arguing that for very young kids, any screen time is too much screen time because that kind of technology can be addictive and lead to serious disorders. This morning, one doctor arguing that all screen time is worse for children than previously thought, adding some technology from smartphones to tablets to video games is downright dangerous and can even turn kids into psychotic junkies. You're calling it digital heroin. You really think it's that serious?
I think that it actually affects the reward centers and the addictive parts of our brain in very similar ways.
Dr. Nicholas Kardaras' articles on the topic have gotten millions of views. The author of Glow Kids saying any screen time for young kids, including from video games and interactive educational programs, can be bad, possibly leading to ADHD, anxiety, depression, and even psychotic effects. Why? He says because it's simply too much for children's developing brains to handle, overstimulating their reward systems, interfering with reality, and affecting normal development.
Most of us are going to drive a car at some point, but I'm not throwing my 7 or 9-year-olds the car keys just yet because they're not neurologically equipped to handle driving a car yet.
But not everyone agrees. The American Academy of Pediatrics saying that some screen time is okay for younger kids and that some educational programming is even beneficial. But Dr. Kardaras says when it comes to kids under 10, the key is to go cold turkey. What's your advice to parents?
My advice is to hold off as much as possible because an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. I treat teenagers that have tech addiction, and it's extremely difficult to treat once that child has fallen into the rabbit hole.
Now, Dr. Kardaras does say that not all screens are equally bad. He says he sees the biggest problems coming from interactive screens, especially with violent video games, which he calls the absolute worst. And if your kid does have to use something, say for school, he says, Amy, to try a desktop computer.
All right, Mara, ABC's Chief Health and